Once your machine is cleaned and calibrated, begin by ensuring you have fresh corn. Old corn can affect the expansion and output of the popper. Also, ensure you have fresh Cretors butter-flavored salt. Lastly, make sure the oil pump is plugged in and the oil is melted and ready for use. Then, turn on all the switches for the machine and you are ready to pop. Measure the correct amount of raw corn using the provided Cretors corn measure. Only fill this corn measure to the height of the front lip. Next, add the desired amount of salt to your corn. For safety, always add corn first and oil second. Add your measured corn and salt into the kettle, then press the green 1-pop button to dispense the oil and start the heat for the popping cycle. On a standard machine without the 1-pop feature, you will press the red dispense button to start the oil. Watch that the oil begins to dispense into the kettle, and then close the lid. The 1-pop function is a patented Cretors feature that is available on poppers that provides both safety and energy efficiency benefits. With the push of a button, oil will be dispensed into the kettle and the kettle will heat, pop a batch of corn, and then turn itself off after one popping cycle. Since the kettle heat shuts off automatically at the end of the popping cycle, the kettle does not continue to heat when not in use, saving energy, while also providing a level of safety if the kettle is left unattended. Popping cycles should average about 4 minutes, and a correctly calibrated popper will have the indicator lights shutting off when the kettle gets to the set point of the controller, about 10 to 20 seconds before you dump the kettle. In this example, the indicator lights stay on well after dumping the kettle, letting us know the temperature is set too high and needs to be adjusted down. To adjust the temperature, press the set button on the digital controller, which will toggle from the current temperature to the set point of the kettle. To make an adjustment, press the up or down arrows to the desired temperature. Then press the set button again to toggle back to the current temperature display. In this example, we are adjusting the temperature down from 400 degrees to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We again measure the correct amount of raw corn using the provided Cretors corn measure. Only fill this corn measure to the height of the front lip. Then, add the desired amount of salt to the corn. Remember, for safety, always add corn first and oil second. Add your measured corn and salt into the kettle, then press the green 1-pop button or the red oil dispense button on a standard machine to dispense the oil and start the heat for the popping cycle. On subsequent poppings, when the temperature is already above the set point of the kettle, you will notice that the green 1-pop indicator light turns on, but the amber-colored heat light is not on. Once the kettle temperature drops down to the set point, the heat light will turn on as well. Ensure that the oil begins to dispense into the kettle, then close the lid. Remember to watch that the indicator lights are shutting off when the kettle gets to the set temperature on the digital controller, about 10 to 20 seconds before you dump the kettle. On the final popping, after dumping the kettle and returning it to a level position, close the kettle cover. Then you can turn off the kettle heat, agitator, and exhaust switches, and keep your doors closed to keep your popcorn fresh and crisp. After popping corn, regardless if you popped one batch or multiple batches, you want to sift and mix what is in the cabinet. Some tips for this process is to make sure that the metal of the scoop is in contact with the metal of the popper base to prevent breakage in popped corn. Sift the corn by moving side to side over the holes in the popper spring to allow the broken pieces and raw kernels to fall into the waste drawer. After sifting, mix the corn by tossing inside the cabinet and then piling the corn up against the front and side glass. Contact our sales department with any questions or comments regarding this machine.